And so someone told me how to play volleyball. So, well, sorry, that's like the only part that we know each other.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's great to see you though. Yes, I'm excited. That's you get to, there's a lot of great comics on tonight too. So. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Gotta get in the zone, my brain. Hi, everybody else. Hi. Hi.
No way. Oh, and you know him? Yeah. That's so funny. I know. Oh my God. No, I didn't. He's going, oh my God. He's at some literal alley in a building. It's a hole in the wall. Like, dang it. There's this small park in Chinatown where they do like on Mondays for COVID. A bunch of like millennials hang out there and like their parents to do. He taught me how to play. That was our interaction. Yeah. Yes, I do. But I oh yeah, I think
No.
I panicked.
I like the three bears. Not too hot, not too cold. Just great.
So basically, we met briefly in high school and we reconnected later. I went out to dinner and I was like, we need to see each other. And my friend was like, oh my gosh, we just get along so well. And so I called him on Instagram. and then I said, hey. And then it was kind of like slow at first. Like my brother was living in England, and that's when he met Morgan. They were both on exchange. She's from Massachusetts. So I went to visit him. My father was on exchange in Manchester, England.
What was the song? I was like, oh.
I think the dog knew how to do it. That's what he worked out. But yeah, so then he had like said, do you want to hang out? And I was like, no, I just landed in like Dublin. So I went on like a quick tour of Europe, and then I came back, and it was nice because he remembered the day I was coming back. We hung out, and then he was going on like a 10-day road trip all through like California the next day. So then he was gone for like a week and a half. So it's just kind of like slow. Stay consistent though. We just kind of like reply to like stories. And then it was like we hung out every single day.
And I got that together.
And now we're living out. It's like we just a stranger. Like living your best life. You know? Worked out. Yeah. Oh, you see? A little bit. I'm like okay. We're all gonna be okay.
Just like a drink that.
Oh, look at you just like. I have to finish this. Should we ask for a cup? Oh, look at the
Oh, wow.
What?
Balloons way over there.
Oh.
I thought you said birds.
I don't know what you said.
I can see right from here around.
She's
The grandpa Jack sing all over. Join in, believe me, it's nice. Join in. Hey. Anyone else? Also, thank you so much.
My grandpa passed away last 2 September ago, I think. Really lovely band. He loved this song, and my grandma was there. My mom was just excited at the song came out. It's like you said, it's rocking it.
What is it all?
Does anyone want a cup? Do you want to grab something? Did you want some? Oh no, it's
I was gonna put
true. We can't get the sprinklers to go on. That's what the umbrellas are for. I know. Okay, wait, I want to take a snap. I'm going to take a snap. I'm going to do a video. Yeah. That is so
who says? In other ways.
Should have told her. I bought their birthday card. We couldn't tell them to pick up. What? Like the tickets that I bought were and it's like in a couple of weekends. Right?
I have the day off. The entire
You must be like 5 days off. Did you see the card so slow? I'm working. I don't get days off.
What is the weekend?
The weekend is Friday night, but Saturday I'll get a
Yeah, I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, but this
I just said that I wanted a day off.
Yeah, that was like 25. It's like their birthday.
Quarter of a century.
Quarter of a century.
Quarter of a century.
Now I'm nervous. I can't do that.
Quarter.
Too much pressure. You know what though? My heart is stopped. We love Libra season.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, you're the bride. I get TikTok. I got pictures.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Comedy Alley. If you hear my voice right now, it's because you're in a weird, wacky alley with too many umbrellas, and we are about to start the show. You guys ready for that? I said, are you ready for that? Woo! Yeah. Give it up for DJ Anto in the back room. Yes, we are going to light up this alley tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Thank you. Yeah, we can kill that. We can kill that. Boom. Welcome. Oh, look at this. Give it up for Luna the Wonder Pug. She's here every week. Yes, thank you, Luna. Thank you, Luna. She is the security guard. Do not piss her off or she'll throw your ass out of here. I'm your host, Lars. If you see me walking around, that's me. I'm going to be running the show. I'm your MC. I'm responsible for all of you. And I'll let you know that I have never lost an audience member in this alley. Not a one, sir. Not a one, sir. And this is ceremonial right here. For the rest of the night, you can call me This is your captain, Captain Lars. Welcome to Comedy Alley Airlines. Buckle your seat. Seriously, buckle your seatbelts. Actually, you don't have to. We're in an alley, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Make some noise if this is your first time here. And by noise, I mean just do something wacky. You clap. You go. Woo! Ooh, was that a turkey call?
I don't know.
Wow. Have you ever done that before? You're like, finally, I get to be myself. I just want to go to an alley with my family and let them know who I really am. We have Xena Warrior Princess right here. Wow. I was not expecting that out of you. You guys were? He was like, he does that everywhere. That's his signature move. Your name, sir? Paul. This is Paul. And I should let everyone know this group up here, you guys are a family booking. Is that right? And this is Jacqueline? This is Jacqueline. So I'm going to commend you in front of everyone. I'm going to give you positive reinforcement for what you did. Jacqueline went out and she bought a 10-pack birthday pack. She bought 10 tickets, the birthday special for her whole family and friends. She's like, I'm gonna buy a birthday special. We're gonna go celebrate a birthday in an alley. We're gonna go have a great time, celebrate the birth and life of one of us in an alley, and we're gonna use the birthday 10-pack special on the website. Even though people in the back, they know this, none of them have a birthday today. For shame. Let me guess, Jacqueline, you're the lady that goes to every restaurant on her birthday to get free ice cream, are you? And it's not even your birthday. You're like, sorry, I don't have my ID, right? You do that everywhere you go? You don't do that. Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal. You bought the 10-pack, but 2 people no-showed. So technically, you bought the birthday 8-pack with no birthday. So, ladies and gentlemen, should we allow it? We're going to allow it. This is a lot like a medieval court. I just do things like this, and we just judge the fate of everyone here. So we have, I'm assuming Paul is your father?
Yeah.
And is everyone related, or like, are you all family members, or we got some boyfriend, girlfriend, in-laws kind of thing?
Yeah.
So we got Paul and Sherry. Good old fucking Paul and Sherry, right? Oh yeah. I feel like you guys own a great cottage. You for sure have the kind of kitchen that's open concept with an island. Oh no, not yet. Aspirations. I got you on the cottage. Where's the cottage?
Unfortunately, it's in Michigan and we can't go.
Oh, that's everyone. Give them. Oh, Paul and Sherry can't go to the cottage in Michigan. Poor babies. That does suck though. What a weird world. I'm for no borders at all. I think we should just all be able to roam around and do whatever we want, so that no matter where our cottages are, we can go to them. God damn it! You're really being hard done by, Paul, by not being able to. He's like, luckily we have the other cottage in Muskoka. Here's the deal, Paul and Sherry. Maybe tonight we can turn this into game show Comedy Alley. And maybe you can win a new cottage tonight, because I feel when I found out from Jacqueline that a family was coming, and then I see all of you, I feel like this isn't Family Feud, but this is like the pre-show to the Family Feud where you bring 8 of your family members and you figure out which 3 you need to cut. Who's not carrying their load? I don't know if Paul's going to help out with answers, but he's certainly going to be. It's a bit of a wild card. My favorite thing on Family Feud is when someone when they're challenging, when one side gets it wrong and then one side has the chance to steal, and they go through, and then they have one fearless leader who's they're like, yep, and then you can just see it in the eyes of every other family member, even though they're saying yes, you're like, that is a fucking stupid answer. There is like, did you not even understand the question? You ever see those ones where you're like, I don't know the answer either, but I know that word could not be the answer to that question. Like, it didn't even make sense to you. So who are we going to cut? We got Paul, Sherry, and then what's the action here? You guys brothers?
No, we're not.
We're brother and sister.
You two are brother and sister. Okay, and you are?
Paul as well.
Paul as well. People in the back, what's your last name? What's your last name? Boots. Oh my fucking God. The Boots family. Every family reunion, it starts like this. Paul Paul skitters over to the sound system, and then it starts ding, 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 ding. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, Paul's boots is gonna walk all over you. Except it's Sherry doing it, and you have the boots, but he's wearing your boots. Does he occasionally put your high heel stiletto boots on and prance around? Hey, look at me, it's the boot family. I gotta say in the back, don't you guys, how shitty are you feeling that you're not part of the Boots family right now? Like, fuck, right? No one said I had to be a part of that family to have a good time here tonight. I guarantee everyone will have a great time tonight. We host this, we have we have a bonus comedian tonight. We have 5 comedians for you tonight. These are people who have done Just for Laughs, JFL 42. They've headlined comedy clubs across this country. And people, like, here's the deal. Canadian entertainment, a lot of these people, they've done everything they can do in their career field right now except leave the country that they are doing it in. And we need to convince them otherwise. And I think if we have 19 people in a weird alley with way too many umbrellas, with enough energy and enough gusto, we can make these people tonight decide and second guess the fact that they've decided to move to a city that's currently on fire in California, and we can keep them here in weird alleys. Can we do that, ladies and gentlemen? Fuck yeah, we can, Paul. But first, we polled 100 Canadian families and asked them, what's the best drug to be on here in a weird alley? Survey says... Paul said, I got Bud Light right now. That is not a, maybe that's, sometimes you just have to say pass, Paul. Let Sherry answer it. We also have prizes tonight. I want to let you know. I'm going to let one out of the bag right now. I'm going to let cats out of the bag. I got a big old bag of cats, and I'm going to let them out right now. It gets a little crazy in here when I let 76 cats out in an alley with a bunch of people drinking. It's fucking wild. It's going to get wild. I hope everyone have your cat vaccine. You guys got your cat vax? Hey, cat vax? I don't want to give anyone cat scratch fever tonight. We have prizes. Our neighbor right here, Dreamy Beauty Bar, there's an aesthetics place. She does nails and lashes and all kinds of stuff. She's agreed to give everyone here, including the Boots family, even Paul, everyone is getting 50% off lashes tonight. You get a lash, and you get a lash, and you get a lash. We're all getting lashes. And it's a great deal because it's not one of them bullshit 50% off where they just do one lash. She'll do both for you and offer them at 50% off. I'll give you the cards later. Stick around though, because later on we're gonna have more prizes. We do 2 things here. We do an MVP of the audience, an MV. Oh fuck, I'm like MV now. Clearly, it's going to be Paul. His name P. Paul. It's yours to lose tonight, Paul. I'm going to say the MVP is yours to lose. You guys can steal. Cheryl, Sherry, right? The Sherry, Cheryl, Sherry, Cheryl, Cheryl. Okay. And we do most valuable group if you came as a group. Oh man, we have an 8-person. People in the back, you really got to pull your weight tonight. I will let you know some housekeeping rules though. When you're inside, toss your mask on. The bathroom to the right. Follow the red carpet. You can take a red carpet poop. And this is a high-class alley. You'll notice, if you haven't noticed already, and if you did, that's why you got a smile on your face. There is a bidet in that red carpet bathroom. Please, not all at once, everyone. Not all at once. Just stampede. Have you guys ever seen a bidet stampede? I want to sell all of. Basically, that's the prototype, and I want to sell all of you a bidet. Make some noise if you have a bidet in the room. Anyone? Isn't that weird that I say room? We're in an alley tonight. Does anyone own a bidet? Am I the only one? No bidets? One guy in the back. Do you for real, Dave? Really? Wow, I would not have pegged you for bidet guy. All right, okay. All right. I'm going to sell the rest of you a bidet because I don't think there's any Bidet Depot or no bidets or Russ. But I think I have the Sleep Country Canada of bidet jingles right here. I believe I am the Christine McGee of bidets. And just like Christine McGee, I do not have a business plan. I just have a warehouse full of bidets instead of mattresses. And I have one hell of a bidet jingle. I'm going to pitch it to you right now. Come on down to Bob's Bidets, because with the bidet, you're always rim job ready. Bob's Bidets. You get a bidet. You get a bidet. One time I did a show in Gravenhurst, and the two people up front, yeah, Gravenhurst, at the Jug City. At the Jug City, a convenience store, the Jug City. I was doing a show next to a Worms. Have you been to the Jug City? You're just laughing at Jugs. Anything for the Boots family. Lars said Jugs. It's funny because he said Jugs. He said you said Jugs, and then you pointed to Cheryl. Sherry. Okay. And so this couple in Gravenhurst, the Jug City, they had a debate, right? They were in front of me, and I asked them, "Does anyone own a bidet?" And the guy said no, and the female said yes. And then right in front of me, they started having a bidet debate. I'm trying to do a show, and all of a sudden they're debating debates. They're right here. You guys ever gone to debate school and had a bidet debate? Is anyone a bidet debater in here? Say it to yourself right now. It's really fun. Bidet debate. Just go ahead and say it. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Bidet debate. Does anyone not know what the fuck's happening right now? Anyone? Okay, I'll tell you what is happening. We need to fucking start this show here. If you guys need anything throughout, you can talk to me, you can interact to me. A lot of these comedians, maybe they got something planned. Maybe they're just gonna come up and fuck around and have fun. But they are all fucking rock solid killer pros. Starting with, he's done it all. He's doing 3 shows tonight. He barely got here because he was on stage like 10 minutes ago on another comedy club. Please give it up for Patrick Hakeem. Patrick Hakeem.
What's up? 3 people. I like that 3 people are excited to see me. Like literally I said, "How are you?" 3 people spoke, and I gotta be honest. As a comedian, nothing gives me more confidence than indifference in the audience. Like when I got up here, I was like, I hope the audience is indifferent. Like I looked out to you and I said, "What's up?" Some of you just stared back at me with dead fucking eyes. Guys, I'm fucking pumped to be here. This is fucking dope. This is my first time here. This is very, very cool and secretive. I love it. There's like I have to let myself in by a velvet rope. I'm like, that's half the battle right there. I'm very happy to be here, guys. I have been in lockdown way too fucking long, and I'm married, and obviously because I'm a comedian, I live in a 1 bedroom apartment that's 700 square foot for sure. And we always entered lockdown, my wife and I, as man and wife. But by like the 3rd week, we were cellmates. Like seriously, I was making a shiv out of fucking soap because I was gonna kill her. Because my wife, her taste in music, hot garbage. Everything she listens to, disgusting. You have to understand, I'm half Latino, half Middle Eastern, which, if you're wondering, too much rage and passion for one human being. My wife is from Etobicoke. She likes a lot of like death metal, a lot of punk, nothing that has rhythm. Like everything she listens to sounds like when the singer was laying down the track in the studio, they were being skinned fucking alive. It's a lot of And I gotta tell you, as a biracial man, there's nothing more I want to hear than a white guy complaining about the system through a jingle. A lot of ladies here. Give it up for yourselves or not? No, too late. I know. I have lived with a lot of women, and I know that every woman in this alleyway right now has a bag or a box that's either on their living room floor or in their front entrance that your partner one day trips over, looks into the box, and is like, why is there a box full of clothes right here? And you're like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Those clothes are clothes that I'm going to donate to charity. And you're like, they've been here for 7 fucking months. We live across the street from the Salvation Army. Let's get it fucking going. And it's never simple. All you ladies, you always have to donate your clothes to a very special cause. Like, you can never go to that parking lot that has the donation box and just chuck all your clothes and get rid of it. It's always something that's very dear to you. You're always like, my wife was like, are you crazy? Do you think I would give my clothes to the Salvation Army? They do crooked shit. No, I'm going to go to a shelter in Markham, okay, that helps women that have been haunted by demons. And I'm like, listen, if you don't get these fucking clothes out of here, I'm going to kill myself and haunt you for the rest of your fucking life. I gotta be honest, during lockdown, my libido went out the window. Like, my wife would come around, touch me, I'm like, I'm good. Like, I just want to smoke weed, play video games, and cry. That's all I want to do. And I say that, but I feel bad for single people. Anybody do lockdown by themselves here? You? This guy? Are you? This guy?
Yeah.
You did it by yourself? I feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad for all men, but straight men that did lockdown by themselves, I feel bad for, because straight men that live by themselves are the dumbest fucking people in the world. Like, everybody here knows a straight guy that you go into his apartment right now, you open the fridge door, there's a pizza box, no pizza, just the fucking box in his fridge. And my boy Martin would always call me, and my phone would ring. I feel bad. I pick up the phone. I'm like, yo, Martin, what's going on? And one day he's like, dude, I am starving for pussy. And I'm like, number one, disgusting. Number two, ask me how I am. Ask me how my wife is. Don't go straight into pussy. 3, I don't even like the way you hit the P in pussy. And this guy's so stupid. He's like, bro, I'm so jealous. You and your wife must be getting it on all the time. I'm like, getting it on all the time? I go, neither of us have showered for 13 fucking days. No one's touching each other. We're just telling each other things are going to be all right. We're lying to each other. But I tell you that my libido went out the window, but the minute my wife would run and do errands, I would jerk off like there was a fire drill in the apartment. I like that everybody here is disgusted by my honesty. A straight man can never talk about masturbating and not be celebrated. If I was a woman here, everybody's like, oh my God, you go, sister, you're liberated, touch yourself. No, but me being a fucking straight guy, I can't fucking talk about that, and you're judging me like, oh, that's disgusting, you're married, you're masturbating. First of all, when I masturbate with respect to my fucking wife, okay? My wife is Japanese, so only Japanese pornography. Because when I jerk off to a censored vagina, I want it to remind me of my wife's censored vagina. Disgusting, but true. Do we have any anti-maskers here? No? Just on social media? I want to be honest with you guys. I'm like Gen X, my early 40s. I don't give a fuck. Whatever you believe in, I don't give a shit. Whoever you kiss, whoever you pray to, whatever you want to do, I don't care. You could tell me you're a fucking werewolf, and I'm like, great. I guess I won't see you during the full moon. Fuck off. I really don't give a shit. But these anti-maskers are the funniest on like Instagram Live. Hilarious. Because they always start their Instagram story or their live, and they're like, okay, everybody, I'm going to wake up these sheep right now and show everybody here at this no frills what they're missing. I'm like, why is it always never a government building or a police station? No, it's always like a pharmacy or a fucking supermarket, and they're always bothering old people at work or fucking ethnic people. Like some guy who was an optometrist in Syria, now he's fucking cutting meat at the deli counter. He's like, you know, in my country, I was eye doctor. Now here, I cut meat every day for everybody. And then in comes fucking QAnon Karen, and she's like, oh, this is bullshit. Everybody here, take off your masks. No, I will not. Don't touch me. I have asthma. I'm exempt. This is bullshit. And the guy from Syria is just like watching her, and he's like, okay, miss, I understand mask bad, but I have one question for you. Your pastrami, thick or thin slice? Are there a lot of couples here? Round of applause. I feel like there's a lot of coupleships happening over here. Yeah, this is your lady? How long you guys living together? Year and a half? Okay, that's like COVID new.
Yeah.
Like you moved in during the pandemic, which blows my mind. You're like, listen, one of you said I want to fuck every day. Okay, I want to know, did you guys have growing pains when you moved in together? First of all, if you say no, it's 100% bullshit. Okay? Everybody who moves in together, you always have growing pains because you move in with people, they do things differently than you're fucking accustomed to, and it blows your fucking mind. Like, your relationship could be perfect. You're like, oh my God, this guy I'm dating, he's so amazing. Every time I talk, he finishes my sentences. At night, I feel safe. And dudes, we're stupid. We're like, yo, she's cool. She lets me smoke weed on the toilet. Like, that's all we give a fuck about. And then you move in together, and people do things differently than you do. Like my wife, the first time she cooked for us, she made a beautiful meal. The way she put away the leftovers blew my fucking mind. I came over, I was like, babe, thank you for cooking this meal. Would you like me to wash the dishes and put away the leftovers? She's like, don't worry about the leftovers. I got this. Opened the fridge door, took the pot from the fridge, took the pot from the stove, popped it in the fridge, closed the door, and I stared at her and I was like, where the fuck do you come from? No saran paper? No Tupperware? Were you raised by a guild of thieves? Like, how the fuck did this happen? And the first time you go grocery shopping, make sure you do it together because people will put things in weird fucking places. My wife, she went grocery shopping. Next day, I open the pantry door. I see ketchup in the pantry. And I'm like, who the fuck wants warm ketchup on their hot dogs and fries? And then I closed the pantry door and I was like, what kind of mass murderer have I been sleeping next to? Bro, I snapped that day and I was just yelling. I was like, babe, come here. I told you guys, we live in a 700 square foot apartment. The fact that she didn't answer me on the first date, disrespect. Just straight disrespect. Finally, she yells at me. She goes, what? Stop yelling. I'm fucking reading. I'm like, well, come here. It's very important. And she said, I said I'm reading. And I'm like, well, bring your fucking book. She comes in. I start pointing at the pantry. And I'm like, she looks at me and she's like, what the fuck are you pointing at? I'm like, what am I pointing at? And I go, why is the ketchup in the pantry? And she's like, you need to relax. And I look at her and I'm like, I need to relax. What am I going to go in the washroom and see the toilet paper coming from under instead of over? Is this the kind of fucking asylum we're going to be living in? And for any of you in this room that put your toilet paper under instead of over, you all 100% like back to front. For sure. You're all fucking backwards people. Is there how much time are we supposed to be doing? I keep going. Guys, like I said, most of the time, I told you guys I'm half Latino, half Arabic, but most of the time, people don't know what I am. I'm ambiguously ethnic. Like, people are always like, is this guy Greek? Is this guy Portuguese? Is this guy Armenian? Someone in the back, when I got up here, was like, whatever the fuck that guy is, for sure he likes to dip bread in sauce. 100%. 100%. Like I told you, I'm half Latino, half Middle Eastern, which, if you're wondering, too much rage and passion for one fucking person. Too much. Like, I'm at war within myself about everything. Especially when I was single, the way I wanted to approach women, I'd be torn in two. Because, like, one half of me wanted to go up to ladies and be like, hello. My name is Patricio. You're so beautiful. I love you. I need you. I want you. I will do anything for you. And then the other half of me is like, Sharmuta, shut the fuck up. You cook, you clean, and you shut up. Now pick up these sunflower seeds. And a lot of girls growing up were always like, okay, mister, you are sending me mixed messages. I like that all the ethnic guys in this room laugh, but some of you white people, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can laugh at this. I live across the street from an Alibaba's, and Samir makes a beautiful baba ganoush. Anybody here get engaged? This lady over there? Yeah? How long you been engaged? Did she say she's got the smallest voice in the world? You gotta, yeah, carry it over like peanuts in a baseball game. 6 months? You like being engaged? I gotta be honest. I love being married to my wife. I hated being fucking engaged. Being engaged is one of the most annoying things that you could do to yourself in a social gathering, because people are always more excited that you're getting married than you are. Like people start, and when it gets closer to your wedding, people start getting weird around you. Like at work, your friends, your family. Like you'll be at work, and somebody will look at you like this and be like, you just want to eat your lunch, and you're like, yes, Doreen. She's like, and they ask you dumb fucking questions like this. So, are you scared? Are you gonna slick your hair? Are you gonna get a cake? Are you gonna get a priest? And you just want to be like, Nana, you need to shut the fuck up right now. Okay? Like, I don't know why you ask me so many questions during this Sunday dinner. Like, don't you have something to crochet? You're asking me what cake we're getting. It's August. We're getting married in July next year. Let the fucking engagement breathe a little bit. And anybody here have a cool aunt? You know, she taught you how to dance in the late 80s, early 90s? No? Some of you might recognize her as the aunt that always finishes the box of wine at every family gathering. Her lips are red like the Joker at the end of the night. She looks like she's going to take on Batman. No, some of you might recognize her as the aunt. You open her car door and it always smells of failure and weed. This aunt will come up to you after 4 glasses of Shiraz, and she'll be like, listen, I want you to know that before I met your uncle, I was engaged like 4 or 5 times. And you're like, Aunt Doreen, I don't need to hear your fucking blackout stories from the mid-'80s, okay? I'm planning a fucking wedding. And guys, never have I ever hung up the phone on my mother till the pressures of the wedding and been like, ugh, that is why Dad left you. Oh, no, you all know my mother personally. Fuck off. You understand? My mom is the Latin one. She's fucking insane. Picking up the phone from her sometimes, she sounds like a Latina Dawn. Like, you pick up the phone, you're like, hi, Ma. And she's like, hello. And I'm like, what's up? She's like, can I ask you some questions about your wedding? And I'm like, yeah, of course. She's like, where are your Uncle Fernando and your Uncle Fabian sitting? And I look at the chart, and I'm like, oh, they're at table 3. They're right next to each other. And she's like, she doesn't say anything. The next thing she says after that, she's like, you're going to embarrass me like the time you failed grade 9? And I'm like, what the fuck does my education have to do with this? Why is it that every time I do something wrong, you bring up that I failed grade 9? Like everything. I get fired from work, you bring up grade 9. Like grade 9 was a fucking big grade for me to fucking pass. And when Latin women go off, they go off. They don't hear anything. They're like, you know, they have been fighting ever since the 1993 Oscar de la Hoya. And they start telling you, you're a piece of shit, just like your father. And you're like, well, okay, this is personal. You ever hang up the phone on your mother because she's talking too much shit and you're like, you're done, bitch? Has anybody ever done that? Yeah, this girl's the only honest person here. I hang up the phone with my mother. I, for some reason, am enraged, and like a big man, I flip the coffee table in front of me. What you guys don't understand is that there is a glass on this coffee table, and it goes 45 degrees and smokes my television set. Yeah. Has anybody else here ever gone from complete depression to sadness in less than a second? I was like, yeah, fuck this. People ask me, dude, what's it like breaking your TV? And I'm always like, have you ever killed something that loved you unconditionally? Fast forward, guys, we get to the wedding. At the wedding, everybody starts to get on my nerves. What you guys don't understand is that my wife is way, way out of my league. Like, so much so that if you would see us together, you'd be like, this guy easily has $5 million in his bank account. Like, so much so that if we were at the grocery store and my wife and I were in an aisle and I would go into another aisle, some of you would go up to her and whisper the words, "Are you safe?" Okay? We get married, everybody starts coming up to me. "Oh my God, you are a lucky man. You are so lucky. Your wife is beautiful. You're lucky." Guys are like, "Oh man, she's a looker. You really lucked out." People are starting to come up to me making shit jokes at my expense at my wedding. Like, guys are like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Are you a wizard? Huh? Did you cast a spell on her?" And I start getting fucking pissed because everybody's coming up to me like I'm this fucking goblin she found under a bridge. And I'm just smashing fish heads. And she was like, "Oh, I guess this is where I am in my life." And then I don't want everything to her. Like, she taught me everything. Like, she's like, "Okay, this is a fork. And this is a knife," and I was like, "Oh yes, for eat, thank you." And what pisses me off is not one person went up to her and said she was lucky. Nobody. People kept going up to my wife and were like, "Are you happy?" Which we all know is a soft "Are you sure?" Fast forward, we get to dinner. At dinner, I get my steak. I decide that I'm going to start eating it. My wife slams her fork into my plate and she's like, "Don't eat." And I look at her and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "I said don't eat." And I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "We need to get up right now and thank everybody." And I looked at her and I was like, how many fucking times are we going to thank these people? At the ceremony, before you even showed up, I thanked everybody. After the ceremony, we thanked everybody. At the cocktail reception, right before this fucking meal, we thanked everybody again. I'm like, do you think I can eat my $38,000 steak in peace? All right, guys. I feel like we've gone through a lot. I feel like a lot of you are like, I don't even know if I like this guy. Fair? No. Is everybody here stoned? Like, there's something, like, I feel like there's like people are passing a plate of Coke around. Like, I don't. No? Okay. Well, guys, you have been amazing. You do have an amazing show. All your comics are fucking fire. And please give it up to Lars Classington once again.
Patrick Hakeem. Call for Patrick Hakeem. That's passion. You've got some passion right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this is what's going down right now. You paid for 4 pro comedians, but you're getting 5. It's bonus comic time. You guys ready for bonus comic? Bonus comic. This guy's done it all over the world. Some of my favorite shows in my life have been with this guy. 2 of them were, I'll tell you one of them real quick, was at a retirement home where pretty much everyone was 90 and we couldn't really communicate with him, and it was fucking beautiful. So he's done fringe shows everywhere, including, instead of TED Talks, he did a show called Shed Talks, where it was him in a shed with 6 people. So he's very familiar with intimate venues. Give it up, please, for Mr. Anto Chan.
Thank you.
May I? This is
Yeah.
look at that technique. Oh, there you go. Awkward.
All right,
Guys, get your
yes.
mind out of the alley. Come on, get it out of the alley.
Wash it off.
Anto Chan.
Thank
One
you,
more time
thank you
for Anto
guys.
Chan.
Thank you so much. That reminds me of, like, you know when you go to strip clubs and they have to like wash the pole before they dance? That guy definitely knows for sure. He looked back at his girls like, remember when we went together when we were getting spicy? That was a great anniversary gift. Wait, are you guys all part of the same family? Oh, I was talking about the couple in the back there. Got your back. Excellent mustache, by the way. So it's so interesting though. My intro was so hilarious. It was just like, yeah, he did this show in a shed. There were 6 people there, and the rest of the people were on Just for Laughs. Anyways, he also does shows in retirement homes for people that don't understand anything. One lady actually said, "Is that Johnny Cash?" when they were looking at Lars. Like, that actually was the thing. Like, she was that old. I'll tell you about the second show that we did together, though. I brought Lars to Markham, where I live, and my family was doing a huge dinner where there was 20 family members, and it was we were giving out gifts. It was Christmas, and it was our family reunion, and it was only Chinese people in the entire place. And then Lars came in dressed like Tiny the Elf. Let us hear Tiny the Elf a little bit. What was it Tiny the Elf sound like? Merry Christmas, everyone! Just imagine the giantness of him compared to all the Chinese people. I'm the tallest one in my family, guys. I'm just letting you guys, like, that's actually a thing. My mom will be like, can you help me get that from the top shelf? I'm like, I can't reach that. She's like, yeah, but I have to step on this and climb. And I was like, I guess I'll just step on it. And I had to step on a stool. Like, that's an actual thing. So, but my family's crazy. My mom is a super sweet lady, but she only really knows how to give love through like food, through actions. Like she'll peel an orange for me and just stare at me as I eat it. And then be like, tell me about your life, but not even say, tell me about your life, but that's what she wants. And then, so that's the love. So recently, I've been going to a lot of therapy, guys. It works. I'm telling you, it really does. Yes. I've been noticing it a lot on dating apps. All the women are like, men who went through therapy only, fuck everyone else. It's like, okay, they went through a lot there. Okay, cool. And I'm like, all right, I'll just do this to get dates, whatever. I mean, therapy really works. So I've been going to therapy a lot. And to my mom, I say to her, and these 3 words, if you haven't said this to your mom recently, you need to say this to your mom, I love you. And I said that to my mom. And if any of you guys out there have a Chinese mom, many of you guys look like you don't have Chinese moms. But if you do, if you're adopted and live in Markham somehow and have a Chinese mom, or if my mom is secretly your mom, tell her that you love her. And this is her response. It was really sweet, really caring, from the heart. She says, oh, okay. Do you want more fruit? Like, it was literally so uncomfortable, right? Like, actually, right, Luna? Luna was there. And so it was super uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as when I said it to my dad. So I was doing the rounds. And then my dad was like, oh, here we go. The therapy guy is going to come and say I love you to me. He's like, so I say to him, like, I love you, Dad. And he goes, yes. And then just walks away. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he does not care. Like, and I was like, I wonder what he said when my mom tells, my mom never told my dad she loves him, though. It's not a thing, guys. It's not a Chinese thing. It's a very confusing thing, though. But this one beautiful time, I ended up telling my mom, like, that I love her the night before. And then randomly she calls me. And she's the only one who calls me in the evening. But I had a date that day. Guys, I had a date. It was a really special day for me. Like, it takes a lot of effort to get someone off OkCupid. You have to answer a lot of fucking questions, guys. There's a lot. I'm like, way too many questions. Okay, so she's actually at my house. I'm like, man, this is going really great. I think we're gonna probably end up, licking each other's mouths. It's gonna be amazing. It's my favorite thing. And also being the small spoon. Those 2 things. Oh, that's like marriage for me, guys. It's like literally small spoon. Yeah, I said it. Oh, this guy wants the small spoon. You know it, right? It's the real thing. He wants you to hug him from behind like you're sitting right now and then brush his mustache. That's all I want. That's all I fucking want, right? And then so I was like, I'm like this close to like actually that happening. And I just hear my phone ringing. It's like 7 p.m. or some shit. I was like, nobody calls me at 7 p.m. except for my mom. Fuck, what's my mom want now? So I pick it up and it was like at the beginning of COVID. So she's just asking me, did I get a COVID test? And I was just like, no, I haven't yet. And she's just being like really naggy and whatever things. And I was like, okay, I gotta go, Mom. Like, I have someone here. And then she's like, okay. But just make sure that you go and get the. I'm like, yes, okay. And I go to hang up, and she goes, I love. And then I hung up. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, was that my only chance at love from my mom? Like, did I just hang up? So I go into the kitchen, and like, we were right before that. I like made steak. Like, I seasoned it. I had to look up what seasoning means. It was just a lot of challenges, guys. I was like, mashed potatoes. I'm fucking like doing this before, like not jerk. I mean, like actually mashed potatoes. And I was like, actually put salt and pepper. I cared, right? And I go in there, and then she's just so like sweet and talking to me and asking me all these questions about life, and I want to answer her, but all I could think about is my mom, guys. And that sounds really weird saying it out loud. But it was so weird, right? So then I have to be like, okay, I can't like focus on cuddles and mustache stroking right now, like, and then the mouth licks. Like, I have to just like figure out what's going on with this. Like, and she's like, just call her right now. It's okay. Just go call her. So I call my mom, and guys, my mom did not tell me that she loved me again. And the reason I tell you guys this is because are you a mother of some of these children? Can you tell them that you love them, but while you look at me? Oh my God, guys, that was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Give her a big round of applause. That was amazing. Wow. Thank you so much. I love you too. So that's great. That's oh, thank you. That means so much. I can't wait to go to Michigan. I think you said it was. Where's the cottage at? I'm going to cottage for sure. I'm showing up. I'm going on a floaty and then just like floating over on whatever lake is connected to Michigan or whatever. Where did you say? What was it? Is it Michigan? Amazing. I listen well. Okay. So I did say that I'm on dating apps. Dating apps is a challenging thing, especially as a single dude. Well, I guess you're supposed to be single usually unless you're on Ashley Madison. Anybody react? I'm testing all the married guys. I'm like, are you on Ashley Madison? But it's weird, right? But I also it's not just because it's also because I'm very picky. Okay, I'm a very picky person. So I'm gonna tell you guys the things that I immediately swipe left on dating apps. Okay, that means like no. So anybody's not been on, I mean everybody's been on a dating app, right? Even just out of curiosity. I'm just curious. I just wonder how many people like me. So swiping left immediately, okay? The first one is healthy and fit lifestyle. Get the fuck out of my face. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but my God, like that's not a thing for me. Like that's no, for sure. I'm all about the knockout chicken, $40, 2 trays. Let's share fried chicken. That's the first date for me, you know? Or maybe semi-seasoned steak. Those 2 things. And then another thing is if you have a photo of yourself, but then you can see the reflection of yourself in the phone. For some reason, I fucking hate that. I have no idea why. That's a swipe left for me. If you're conservative, that's me kicking you out of this place as well, guys. Like, get the fuck out. If you're Catholic, swipe left right away. Not okay. Let me just. People always get weird about that one. I'm not saying that if you're Catholic and that you like, if you were born Catholic and then you converted and got out of your Mormonism of Catholicism, you know, like that's like what I'm talking. If you got out of it, then that's totally cool. But if you're still Catholic right now, I'm just saying it won't work out between us. That's all I'm saying, okay? If you have a name of someone that's been in my life that I was either dating or I'm a family member of, though, that's a no. Right? Like if anybody named Doris, I guess my mom's name is mom's name is Doris, so no one's really named Doris anymore. So but my sister's name is Maggie, right? Madison. Those are all, that's my niece. Like that's fucking weird. I just swipe left on that shit, right? But then here's the last one that's really, really challenging. The swiping left, if you are an actual cousin of mine, I will swipe left immediately. See, that one was much more agreeable than the Catholicism and the other ones, right? That actually happened to me, and it was like so traumatizing. I see it, and I was like, oh my God, like, what the fuck? Like, I grew up, I was like, did I know this? Oh my God, it's my actual cousin, right? And I like couldn't swipe like fast enough, right? But I also was curious. I was like, does she find me attractive? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do it. I was a little bit curious though. I love that you clapped for that. Yes, I do want to know. But it was really like it actually happened, and it was really like in that moment I was like, that's so traumatizing. But here's the therapy part of myself. Yes, acknowledge the traumatization of that moment. But what can we do to move forward, right? So I was like, instead of getting traumatized and only have the PTSD of it, now I'm actually thinking business. What business would work from this is if I connected Tinder and I paired them with 23andMe, guys. That's what we need to do. We need to get tests and send them in so you're never paired with your cousin. That's all I'm saying. So you get the test, and then they'll know through the system, right? Unless you live in a really small town, and then you're like, I'm okay with second cousin. You know, like you kind of like that could be one of the things that you put as like, yeah, that's not that big of a deal. I just don't want anybody to ever experience what I went through when I went to a family reunion and you run into them and you're like, you didn't fucking swipe right. Okay, so another thing that happened, my niece, she is 2 years old. She's super cute. And she just started walking, which was like everybody was. Well, she was walking a little bit earlier. Judging people, I saw that some of you guys. 2 years old. These should have been not only walking, but they should have been helping others walk too. It's like, oh, dude, chill the fuck out. All right, parents there. Parents are weird like that, right? But my niece, she started walking, and that's great. She could actually join the rest of the women in my life that have walked out as well. So thanks a lot. Whatever. See how it is. That one got dark, eh? I actually submitted that to McLean's magazine, and they're like, this is a little bit too dark for our magazine. If you want to join the 50 other comedians on it, I was like, oh, whatever. I never sent them back. They're like, no puns. I was like, I only write puns. But it's weird. Parents are weird. I was in a park with my friends' kids, and I don't have kids myself, but I like work with kids. Like I'm good at. I actually have early childhood education, so I like work with children. So I'm good with kids, and I'm excellent at napping, but I'm not good at kid napping. But I mean, I guess I would be good at kidnapping because I'm good, but I'm not going to. That's what I'm saying. But it was weird. This my friend's wife. She that's how much I clearly like her is that I didn't even call her by her name. I was just like my friend's wife. It's like still rude. But she was pushing her kid, and they were about to leave, and then the kid was not even a kid. It was a baby. The baby was like a year old, and I was just like, bye, baby. See you later. And then I said bye to her. I actually forgot her name right now. That's how bad this is. And then. Like bye, and then the mom, she grabs her baby's arm and is like, say bye right now, say bye to Anto. You just met him. I'm like just trying to uncomfortably force her child to wave at me and like force the arm, and it was like this uncomfortable like. And I was like, I'm not gonna think you're worse or better of a mom if your baby doesn't wave at me. Like, that's fucked up, but I am going to think that you're a worse mom if you're physically hurting your child in front of me. Like, that was just super awkward, right? But just, okay, I was thinking about this the other day. I saw this, like, incredible moments in overseas. If you guys ever heard of a place called Turkey, double hilarious because I eat turkey on Thanksgiving, and there's a place called it. Amazing. But I was seeing this in the news. They have this, like, huge gay pride festival that was so big, and everybody was celebrating it. They're so excited. All these people flew in, and it was the first one that they ever had, right? And then the cops, and then also the fire. I almost called them the fire police. The fire people came by, and then they started spraying them with giant hoses to tell them like no, you're not supposed to be gay. Like, then that's not what God would want. So they started spraying them to like punish them, right? But as the water stream was in the air, a giant rainbow emerged. And all of the gay people in the parade were like, we built these amazing floats, and now God has blessed us with this rainbow. And they're so happy, and they're dancing, and everybody's celebrating. And all the police officers and the fire people are like, fuck! Like, they were so mad that this like backfired and blew up in their face, right? And that's like a really similar metaphor to like how when I was young, my mom used to like hit me as a kid, but now I'm really into BDSM. Oh yeah, I'm sex positive. I put that in on my profile. Being sex positive is weird though, like telling people that, and they're just like, wow, you must be like so good at sex. I'm like, not really. Like, I'm like sex positive, but sometimes it's a negative too. I don't know, like. So but this one, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I know these things, right, about myself. But it's interesting though, like the idea of actually buying sex toys as a dude, it's not like a openly common thing, right? But I have recently done that. I bought a box of $200 worth of sex toys. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with these. I feel like I should be giving them out to people, right? And then so I was just curious about all these different things. So I bought all this stuff. And it's all great until family members come to visit. And you're like, what happened in all of this? What people don't tell you is that you have to actually wash your sex toys as well, right? And the worst is when you don't have a washing machine and you have to boil your sex toys in pots. And when my family came, I was like, don't use that pot. No, that's not the one that you're supposed to. Oh, don't use that one. And they're trying to get me to explain why. And I was like, I have no good reason for why. I can't tell you any reason. Because my mom, my family would have no idea. I don't know how to transition into this last part, but this is my final thing I want to share with you guys. We've been talking about bidets, and we've been talking about birthdays. So I have a final thing I want to share. It is a poem about bidets when I was traveling in Japan. and then I'll get out of here. So thank you guys so much for your time so far. I'm excited. Oh, preemptive. That's how much we love each other. I love you now as well. Thank you. Thank you. Are you the husband? Yes. Amazing. This is a mother to child love. It's not just because I talk about sex toys. Half my set is not what I'm. Okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna move on. Definitely not Oedipus thing. Okay, so I begin with a full stomach, ramen noodles and gyozas galore. So much has been stored in my happy sumo belly. Like the best pencils, it's number 2. Time for poo-poo. Eaten mushrooms, I shit takey. I plop down onto the seat, hopping up, burning my bottom. Heated seats, don't miss a beat. I jump back on the ride, big kid on roller coaster, rainy day, no lineups. My wonderland. It's the cave of wonders, magic lamp, wish granted, taking my time. I make one hell of a deuce, double dragon, experiencing the most treasured item in country rich with magnificent oriental history. Japan, the land of the bidet, the washlet. It massages my pear with perfect pressure. Never had water strike with such care. The crane delivering newborns' first steps. Shit back, relax. It's the spray feature, rinsing out the inside of the sink after giant stack of dishes. I aiming scientifically where the sun don't shine. But now it's the sun rising in hometown after travels. There's pieces that's been found adjusting my spine as I find the sweet spot. Thorough, deep clean, its sheen could see reflection, wax on, wax off. Colon all the shots. Grabbing handles, I'm giggling schoolgirl. Can't help wonder if I'm enjoying a little too much. Immediately escapes my mind, timing both sprays, hitting front and back. Left, right, BA start. Bachelor of Arts, cheat code, entered new level. Under pressure, I feel like the queen, waving from the wrist. Polite and respectful. I finally exhale, metaphorical cigarettes, feeling appreciative that you all came to my surprise B-Day party. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm an answer chair. Give a lot of love to Lars, classic tunes.
And so Chan, the Kung Fu Master. Yeah. Wow. That was a bonus comic right there. Paul, Sherry, wow. Sherry, you just can't stop looking at him. Sherry's up here like a proud mom, just, oh, Anto, he's turned out great. We love you so much. Luna, give it up for Luna. She's going to headline. She's upset. She wants to go earlier in the show. Somebody scratch her butt. That's what she's barking at right now. She's just like, scratch my ass. Scratch my ass. Someone scratch my ass. There it is. Fun fact about Anto, if you want to know a little more things about Anto and about me, is Anto is my button guy. I said button guy. You need any buttons? Paul, Sherry? Anyone need, you guys need a button guy? I got a button guy. If you're like, hey, where do you get them buttons? I got a button guy. In fact, I have them right here. Here's the thing, folks. Also, another hot tip. Nobody checks. There's no screening process, no questionnaire, no interview. You can just put your own face on buttons, and that's what I did with the help of Anto Chan, the button man, right here. Yes, and you know what, Paul, Sherry, I want you guys to have a button. Maybe button boy is better. Button man or button boy? Button boy. Yeah, I like button boy. Button boy is nice. And Sherry, you're gonna get one as well. Button boy. And I'm gonna also teach you the jingle that I created for Anto's business. Oh, by the way, that fucking bidet home was beautiful. I was moved, right? I was moved. We laughed, we cried. Sherry's like, I was moved. Movement. You got it. Luna, unacceptable. Leave Paul alone. Come on up here. Get up here. Come on up here, Luna. This show's gone off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the Anto-chan button. Get out of here. Come on. What are you doing? Luna. There you go. Give it up for Luna. She just wants treats and bacon. Someone give her some meat. So here's the Button Man jingle. It goes something like this. Anto-chan, the button man. If Paul needs a button, Anto's his man. Anto-chan, the button man. If Sherry needs a button, if Sherry needs a button, Sherry needs a button, Sherry needs a button, Anto's her boy, the button boy, button boy. You can take Anto with you. He'll come to your house and do poetry too as well. Guys, we got to keep this show rolling. Luna, you really? Oh, you know what? Is it a full moon? I feel like it's a full moon. No wonder shit's going crazy here in the alley. Family, Boots family, you guys all good? Boots family? Survey says. There you go, Paul. Guys, we have another treat here. This guy's headlined across the country, coast to coast, and he's also done Winnipeg Comedy Festival. Give it up for Mr. Dave Martin. Dave Martin. Dave Martin, everybody.
I got my theme song correct, too. Right. Give a big round of applause for your host, your MC. Oh, my God, Lars, everybody. Doesn't he kind of look like the lead singer of, like, Megadeth decided to start doing yacht rock? Like one of those, like, wasted away in Margaritaville. Nobody? Are you not familiar with yacht rock? You must have missed yacht rock, but you like the Doobie Brothers, I'm sure, or what's Jimmy Buffett? Okay, well, then you know yacht rock. I feel like I'm that episode of WKRP where Venus teaches him the atom. Anyways, another very reference that has gone over everybody's head, but don't worry. More rock and less Nesmith. More rock and less Nesmith. Yes, it is. All right. We looked up in Cincinnati. There we go. I got a new T-shirt and we can move on. Wonderful. Oh my God. Good evening, survivors. How are we doing? We're doing good tonight? Yes? Is Survivor all on your resume right now? Is that a new thing that you put there? I'm a survivor. Don't you feel a little bit guilty using Survivor, don't you? It's like, what did you actually do to survive? Really? You locked yourself in your apartment or your house and you ordered Uber Eats and you binged on Netflix? Yeah, I survived. Somehow I was able to survive. That's a new word that we should probably redefine as survivor. And I think we should also redefine the word alcoholic as well. Oh my God. Did anyone have one of those afternoons during the pandemic of like, well, I don't have to operate any heavy machinery this afternoon? Let's get shit-faced. Let's do that. But thank you guys for coming out. It is this is a wonderful. I love the little dog Luna, but doesn't she kind of sound like all the aliens from Invaders from Mars? Anyone else? Nobody? Okay. Right. I'm gonna do a lot of '90s movie references that I'm sure will go over everyone's head, and you are all better for it. That's okay. But it's good. I like comedies coming back. That's nice. A lot of comedians are eager to get up on stage. We haven't been up on stage in a while, and some of us might be a little bit rusty, but there's nothing to worry about. We're all just telling jokes up here. It's not like you're getting on an airplane or anything, and all of a sudden you hear your pilot go, "This is your captain speaking, and man, I have not flown a plane in about 8 months, so holy shit, there are so many buttons up here. I don't know, is there a pilot on board?" Yeah, don't worry about that. That's not happening. That's all good. I like that a lot of time in comedy clubs now, if you go, they have like a plexiglass sort of a thing that hangs down in front of the audience. And seriously, yeah, there's a piece of plexiglass that hangs in front of us on all three sides. And but I like this more. You know, there's like a real genuine front row. You guys are in the front row. I think that's amazing. I love people that sit in the front row. You know, you want the confrontational comedy, if that does. But I don't know what happened in the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s that like comedy club audiences started to have this form of PTSD about sitting in the front row. Like everybody's afraid that the comedian will make fun of them. Well, that's not to worry. We're all cool comics on this show. No one's going to get made fun of, you know. But people were worried about sitting in the front row, you know. People don't want to get harassed, you know. But I often think that I bet there are a lot of strippers out there that wish that their audiences had the fear of sitting in the front row the way that comedy club audiences do. You know, I think that would be kind of refreshing to go to a strip club and the dancers on stage You know, she's there, she's working the pole, she takes out a microphone, she starts making fun of the people in the front row. That'd be refreshing, wouldn't it? You know, she's just there working the pole. She's like, hey, where are you from? Hamilton? Well, I'll speak much slower then. You know, not the greatest crowd work in the world, but, you know, we paid her to get naked, so that's good. I've worked many different kind of shows before, many different kind of venues. One of my favorite, I like comedy clubs and and comedy venues like this. You know, I've worked in a lot of 420 friendly comedy venues. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you can light up a joint during the show. You can enjoy it. You know, have a good laugh. Sometimes there's no beer there served, or there's just soda and coffee. But you can light up a joint. You can smoke it during the show. That's fun. I'll have to admit, marijuana audiences are not the greatest audiences in the world. No, there's not a lot of big laughs, but a lot of smiles and nodding heads. You got a whole lot of people like, yeah, I have noticed that. Man, this guy notices a lot of things that I've noticed. This guy's good. Well, that's fun. Don't you like the decor here? It's like a Mary Poppins yard sale. All right, a reference to the 50s Disney movies. I'm just trying to figure you guys out. Not so 80s, but more 50s Disney references. We're going to be okay. Anyone put on weight during the pandemic? Anybody get fat? Anybody eat popcorn and chips and ice cream like it was the vaccine? Anyone do that? I'll be able to work this off. Don't worry. I put on a fair amount of weight. I don't know about a fair amount of weight. I put on some weight during the pandemic, and I gotta cut down. I think sugar is my main vice. Sugar is easily my main vice, and it's in everything too. You have no idea how much sugar and salt are in the shit that you're eating these days. But the sugar is the worst, though, and so salt as well. And I don't know, how old are you, sir? 55. All right. Okay. So do you remember a time when you'd pick up a soda pop, like a can of Coke, and it wouldn't say anything about the nutritional information on it? Like you'd look at the ingredients and it would just say carbonated water, sugar, and then all the other crazy bullshit that was in a can of Coke. You remember that time, right? And then I don't even know what year it was. And then they decided they would start telling us how much sugar and salt and all the other ingredients in a can of Coke that there were, right? Now, I don't know if you have looked at the nutritional information on inside a can of Coke lately, but if you look, there are 38 grams of sugar in one can of Coke. Can you believe that? 38 grams of sugar. First time I read that blew my mind. 38 grams of sugar. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly what a gram of sugar looks like, but I do know what a gram of cocaine looks like. And are you telling me that there's 38 little baggies in that one can? It sounds like a lot. We should probably cut that down a little bit. Whenever I'm at a comedy show and I am in the bathroom and I see that someone has done cocaine off the top of the toilet paper dispenser, I always know that there's someone in the audience grinding their teeth and thinking to themselves, I can do that. I'm going to do that someday. When do I get to say something? I can always tell that there's some guy that's in the audience thinking that. And we should put a stop to those people. Oh my God, even just for the sake of the other comedians in the green room, we do not need to have that person around, right? Because cocaine is the worst drug there is. It really is the worst. And you know it's the worst because nobody ever wants to share it. That's how you know it's the worst, you know? It's like, everyone's like, when it comes to smoking pot, everyone's like, hey, I'm going to go smoke a joint outside. Anyone want to come? Yeah, me over here. Why not? You never have anyone want to go to the bathroom? Anyone who want to go into the bathroom with me and watch me do a couple bumps and then I don't shut the fuck up for the next 3 hours? Does that sound fun? Anybody? Oh, all right. It's going to be good. It is going to be good. I had a bit of a, I don't know if you ever have one of those moments where you don't know whether you should say fuck you or thank you. Like one of those sort of like F you, thank you moments. You don't know whether you should do that. I had one recently. I went to the marijuana dispensary, Tokyo Smoke, and I got the seniors discount. Yeah, I know you were borderline applauding. It was just sort of, but it was one of those moments where I was sort of like, "Hey, how old do you think I fucking am? And how much is that discount? 12%? Well, then please put my marijuana in the pen. Oh, my back is sore. Went to CBDs. Yes, I immediately aged like 30 years, so it was appropriate for me to get that. But But I'm not a senior. I do not have any kids. I don't know if I will. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can for one reason. I have smoked pot for about, let's say, maybe about 25 years. And when I rode a bicycle, it was one of those very hard seats. Not a lot of cushioning on my bicycle. So I don't think my swimmers are very motivated to get anywhere. So, but the point that I'm getting to is I don't know if I'm ready to have kids or if I ever would be. For the one reason that every once in a while, I'll start thinking to myself, maybe I should get back into playing video games. I don't know if that's a sign of an adult. And second of all, I don't think I'm ready to have kids is because I still have a chain wallet. I don't know if you've noticed this when I'm sporting here. I still have a chain wallet. And if you haven't been able to, if you haven't figured out how to hold on to your wallet without it being chained to you, I don't think you're responsible enough to take care of a life. I don't think you have the responsibility and the all knowledge to take care of someone else. I mean, everybody says, I don't care. I mean, I'm fine with it. But man, if you ever want to feel really old, go out and try to buy a new chain wallet. Get a lot of people going like, "Hey, are you buying this for your son?" Yes, I am, and he thinks that they're pretty cool. Okay, but no, I don't know. I don't know if I'm. Kids always seem so wacky and annoying. Do you remember? Wacky. I know that's not a good phrase either. I should get more adjectives underneath my belt. Do you remember when Teresa Tam told us that it was perfectly okay to use glory holes during the pandemic for sexual interaction? Do you remember that? Do you remember? Okay, well, that's an interesting thing for a lady to yell out. Woo! Do I ever? No. No, she told you that it was okay to use a glory hole. That's fine. Lots of distance between two people, and there's a wall. If you don't know what a glory hole is, I'll quickly tell you. Basically, there'll be a wall here, and there'll be an anonymous hole in the wall, and a man will stick his penis through that hole in the wall, and he will receive some oral pleasure on the other side of that hole in the wall. Right now, these are very popular. I was going to say these are very popular in the gay community, but I think there's probably a lot of guys here going like, "Oh, that's a thing? Fucking how long is this guy going to shut up for? When's this guy going to shut up?" So that should be a new app. Actually, if there's a glory hole app out there, that should be one. But I was on a and you're never going to find a woman who's really into glory holes. You're never going to find her because you're never going to find a woman who's like, you want to know what I'm looking for? I don't want to be taken out. I don't want to be wined and dined. All I'm looking for is an anonymous cock coming through a hole in the wall. That's all I'm looking for. Not going to really find that. I don't think it is. But I overheard these two guys though on a streetcar once talking about glory holes. One of them said to the other one, "Oh man, could you imagine using one of those glory holes and then afterwards you look through it and there was a guy on the other side? Wouldn't that be the worst thing ever?" I was like, really? That's the worst thing that you could imagine, being on the other side of a hole in a wall that you just stuck your penis through? I don't know. How about a mouse trap? That'd be pretty bad, right? How about a beehive? That'd be pretty bad too. Right? How about a kindergarten classroom on the day that a cop is visiting? Of all the things to be on the other side of a hole, well, I don't think a guy's mouth is that bad, really, right? I mean, wouldn't you look through the hole first though? Just like, all right, how's it going? All right, this one's good, guys. Okay, I mean, I would never do it in the first place. So, I mean, maybe for charity. Maybe it was for charity. All right, maybe it was for the kids. Maybe I'd do it then. But that's it. I gotta draw a line somewhere. Lars was nice enough to mention the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, and that's always a nice credit to have. But the pandemic hasn't been so bad because during the pandemic, I was allowed to get not my first, not my second, but my third appearance on CP24. That's right. Yes, I got my second area resident credit. That's right. Area resident. That was like you remember for a while they were going to shut down all the pot shops during the pandemic, and then I was leaving one of the pot shops, and then they ambushed me, and I said, "Man, that's bullshit." Right? So I stuck it to them. And but my favorite appearance on City TV happened a couple years ago, and this credit was I was an eyewitness. Okay, So what happened was, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was a big party boat down by the lakeshore, and they was having this big ruckus, crazy party, lots of crazy reggae music playing. Looks like a lot of fun. Someone got dropped off at that boat, and the boat and it was by a car. Car pulls up, drops off the person, and then the car backs up to do a 3-point turn and leave. But as they backed up, they went bottom first into the lake, and then the car was submerged in water, right? Sad story. Whoever was in the car unfortunately died, but I got on TV for the 3rd time, so that's okay. You know, pluses and minuses. But so went who's Christina Natalia, right? Christina Natalia was the reporter that showed up to the shooting that I was my first appearance on CP24. So then she saw me again, and at no point at this unfortunate drowning of the vehicle, and at no point did Christina Natalia think it was all strange at all that I showed up at 2 crime scenes. Did not cross her mind at all. So she asked me, and I said, as an eyewitness, I was like, oh, yeah. What happened was there was a green SUV. That's what I saw, a green SUV that went into the water. And the next day, when they pulled the vehicle out of the water, what was it? A red Honda Accord. So there you go. That's the value of an eyewitness. So whenever you hear of a case where they got an eyewitness, everything's going to be fine. Not so much. Before I get out of here, though, I met someone during the pandemic, and dating during the pandemic is kind of weird. You end up sort of a lot of walls get broken down, and you learn a lot about someone very quickly, right? I had to quarantine with her, which was interesting. And when you know that you're going to be spending like 2 or 4 weeks with someone without going out at all, you get to hear a lot of walls get broken down. Like this one, hearing this being yelled out of the bathroom. Did we eat something spicy yesterday? I don't know what that's in reference to. But she's great. I enjoy her very much. And she's from the north, as she says. But she's from Sudbury, right? It's not like, ooh, Game of Thrones or Beyond the Wall of the North. No, it's Sudbury, okay? But I'm a city boy from Toronto, born and raised, and she's from the North. So there's a couple things I had to get used to, like hearing this after sex. Oh, that was some right there, good fucking bud. Thank you, I guess. Oh, you're really giving it there with your fucking dick, buddy. Hey, all right. I'm going to take that. That's cool. And she's traveled a lot. She has told me that she learned to drink wine while she was in Italy. And then I responded with, I learned to drink wine under the Bloor Viaduct. So we all come from different places. But even she has, in this short time that we're together, that she has actually accused me of not being romantic. She said this once when we were sitting in a park together, and we see this elderly couple walk past us, and they're holding hands. And she goes, oh, isn't that sweet? They've been together for so long, and they're still so much in love that they're holding hands. And I was like, yeah, they're probably holding hands so one of them just doesn't wander off somewhere, okay? I don't know if that's love. I think it's more like the buddy system, all right? I hope they get back to wherever they started from. I hope they stay together, but let's not give them too much fucking credit, okay? All right. Thank you very much, everybody. You've been wonderful. Joining SP Comics. They're amazing. Let's bring Liza back up here. Go ahead.
Dave Martin, everyone. Dave Martin. Dave Martin. Yeah. Woo! Boots, how we doing? Yeah, good. You still with us? Yeah, you're there. You're not nodding off after how many of those have you had? Yeah. Two. Dave mentioned the decor here. For any of you wondering, does anyone else in the alley have a spare alley kicking around that they need to be converted into a comedy alley? Because you now have an alley guy. Paul, you got an alley guy. Anyone? Anybody? Nobody? Not a single person? I'm going to tell you the secret. If you do, or if you stumble across someone who has an alley, it's 80% wacky umbrellas right here. That's 80% wacky umbrellas. And if you're wondering how it feels when you're at the Dollarama and you're holding an armful of 9 multicolored umbrellas and trying to straight face say, here, I'd like to pay for these 9 umbrellas to a teenager, it feels like you're an insane man. But here we are. So, guys, this is fucking great. I love this, and thank all of you for coming. There's something that we got to do it is tradition here only on full moon shows. And if someone's like, technically it's not a full moon, it's close fucking enough. All right, it's close enough. It's mostly full. So please, for those who are able, please join us in the singing of our Comedy Alley Full Moon Anthem. Oh, oh, oh! We're fucking doing it, Paul and Cheryl. We're doing it. I keep saying Cheryl, but I know you're Sherry. Right? She's already kind of freaking out. Guys, we got to bring up your next comedian. He is one of my favorite friends. Early in my career, he helped me book a bunch of shows, including the show that I recorded my debut album was a show that he produced. It was a fundraiser for Crime Stoppers. We were stopping crime with comedy. And now I run a show in an alley. His show's not in an alley, but he does run a show up on Danforth at Coxwell and Danforth at Groove Bar. Please give it up for Adrian Sawyer. Adrian Sawyer.
Oh no, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Guys, give it for Lars. Oh, you guys cool in this alley. Oh man. Anto, you have $200 worth of sex toys? $200? What do okay? How did you get rid of them? Did you dispose of them anywhere? Do you have them yourself? Okay, good. Okay, good. Because 6 times in my life I've seen dildos in the streets. Randomly. Like in different parts of the city. Anyone else see a sex toy in the street anytime? No? Like ever? Jeez. Like the first time I saw one, it was like coming out of the snow. And you never forget your first time. You're like, oh! It was like Star Wars when like the Jedi things are coming out. You're like, oh my God, it's a dildo. And I walk down the street. Never thinking I'd ever see another dildo again. Right? 8 months later. It was spring. It was raining. And I saw a small dildo and I laughed at it. I was like, oh, it's like a training dildo. Kept on walking. 3 years later, terrified. Saw a dildo in the street that was all chewed up. It was like a raccoon and a wolf were fighting over it. I don't know who won. I continued on in my life thinking, wow, this is 3 times in my life I've seen dildos. It's kind of weird. I mean, the first time was weird, you think. Yeah, and then I'm not looking for them. It's not like I'm a magnet to them. You know? Then 8 years passed. And I had this really cool job where I had to like measure the reflections of signs. So I had to walk from like literally Scarborough to Beaverton. And that's where I saw them. I was walking up, Brock Road, on the way to Uxbridge. And I saw what I thought was a dirty carrot on the side of the road. But no, it was a dildo. I was like, wow. What is happening? A couple weeks later. This one. I'm walking up a hill, it's raining. Glistening off the rain. It's a dildo. But I was like, oh no, this might be a black dildo because I haven't seen one of these yet. And I was like, is it? No, it's just really dirty. Damn it. I wasn't really hoping for one, but you know, switching it up. The 6th time I saw a dildo in my life, this one damn near killed me. Almost broke my ankle. I tripped over it. I wasn't even, it attacked me. You guys have strong ankles here? Most of you, you're not sure of your ankle strength, are you? Think you can withstand a dildo you don't see? No, it don't. Yeah, no, I know my ankles. No, they can't handle dildos. And I almost slipped like that. And I was like, ah! And that was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So I'm streak free. But I got a job. I'm a male escort. Yeah. No, I work for Canada Post. I escort that mail right in the fucking box every day, all the time, 24/7. So I'm kind of terrified. I'm walking around these streets like looking for my next dildo. Like I know it's lingering somewhere. somewhere in Toronto. It's gonna be a dildo on my street. But mail escorting is pretty cool, you know. It was weird during the pandemic because everyone was home and we were still escorting the mail. The streets were empty. People were like, "Hey, mailman, what's the world like out there?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just trying to go home and watch Tiger King, sir. That's all. That's all." Oh God. There's one thing I learned about Tiger King is stay the fuck out of Florida. And I already knew that going in, so yeah. I like dogs, right? You guys like dogs? It's weird. It's weird for me because when I'm not working, and I see people with dogs, and I see other dogs I don't know, and they don't know me. I feel like a narc. Like I feel like I'm wearing a wire. Like I don't want them to know what I do in my daytime. You know, and they're like sniffing me and stuff like that. Dogs are terrifying when they're pissed off at you, though. I got dog wanted to take a piece of me one time, and you think they teach you. They're like, you use a strong authoritative sort of word of voice. A strong authoritative. Let's fill in the blanks here. Starts with an A, ends with a Y, something like that. You know, a sturdy, strong voice to tell the dog, no, down, go home. Huh. But when a dog is attacking you, it's more like, please, sir, please call off your dog, please. I mean, yeah, Toby. But it's a good gig. It's a good gig. I keep getting cast as a white supremacist. And like in acting, like in not one, but in two productions. All right, and this is like it's awesome because the agent that books me, she giggles too, is because I'm mixed race. Like I'm half Jamaican. My father is black. See? Exactly. See? Like, what is with this guy? Something's up. So I'm going on this set as a white supremacist. I'm like, yeah, woohoo! My insides are dying, but my outsides are great. And one time I had to go and we're doing a white supremacist march, and it was in downtown Toronto. I can't spoil what it was, but we were dressed up as white supremacists, and they asked us to bring white supremacist clothes. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know what that is, you know. So I'm getting dressed in this. They have us dressed, and I'm wearing this clown shit and stuff like that. And I apologize to the white supremacists that are here. I don't want to offend you, with your wares or whatever. I don't want to step on your toes. So we go and we're protesting down by the CN Tower. We're not protesting, but we're kind of, acting, fake things. And this is why I love Toronto, because we're doing our fake little act thing. And people are driving by like, fuck you guys, go home. Ah! They didn't even know what we were doing. They just saw people in a park and like, fuck them. They must be up to no good. And then the flip side of it is the agent that cast me, she is like, her son is mixed race too, so she can see right through the bullshit. She knows. So she cast me in black shows. And when I'm in the black shows, I'm the token white guy, and I'm a cop all the time. It's kind of like some reverse bizarro, I don't know, overt racism? Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, my check's cash and the color's green, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I am half Jamaican. My father used to say, he's like, Adrian, you're born in Jamaica, you be black like me. But you were born in Canada, and the cold just scared the blackness away. It is true. It is true. Born in Barrie. That's right. Yeah, I know, right? My dad's got like 3 pictures in his basement. He's got like Dr. Martin Luther King and Bob Marley, and probably the greatest civil rights leader of them all, Rod Stewart. Yeah. You play a Rod Stewart song backwards, it's a sweet, sweet reggae jam. It's a good recipe for some oxtail. Or patties, sorry, I had to generalize it there. Growing up was crazy though. Like if you have Jamaican parents, you guys, no? Oh, sorry. Grandparents maybe, I don't know. My father is like wicked. Because everything you do, you're gonna break. You flip on the switch, you're gonna break it. How am I supposed to see? Don't touch the hand railing, you're gonna break it. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to climb the stairs? He terrified me once. He's like, Adrian, don't eat too much sugar. You're gonna die. Diabetes is gonna get you. You're gonna die. It's a trip to put on a 7-year-old. I legit spent the first 10 years of my life thinking diabetes was a real person. Oh yeah. I was afraid I'd be walking down the street and diabetes would jump out of behind the bush, stab me with a knife. I remember those white vans they used to say, beware of when they were kids. I always thought that diabetes was driving around those crazy vans. It's horrible. I was a little fat kid growing up. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? But nowadays, child abuse is getting out of control, is it not? It's raging. Raging everywhere. It's crazy. But I think I found the solution for child obesity, guys. Came to me one night. I was smoking a joint, eating the Snickers. It came to me. I went to Max to buy said Snickers that day earlier in the morning. And as I was approaching the counter, I saw a fat kid eating raw sugar with a satchel. Just like this. Staring at me. God damn it. Got my Snickers. I went home, I smoked a joint. Eureka! The cure for child obesity people is child labor. Yeah! Put a rickshaw on a fat kid, run across town. Burn off those pounds in the summer. Stop the traffic congestion, No, I'm not bored with that. I'm just saying it's a good maybe a little project, maybe a CrossFitting. No? I had you with everything else, but I lost you on that. Really? Really? You follow me with dildos in the streets? All right, guys. So the birthday person is someone's birthday. It's no one's birthday. It's just you guys lied just to get discount tickets. In a few weeks, someone's gonna have a birthday this year. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna celebrate it. They don't even know. We'll all party. We'll have cake, Bud Lights. Why didn't you go with the King cans, the Super King cans? I don't know. I thought he was at a Jays game. Everyone, just drinking the big. I was actually gonna go with Bud Lights, but I was late. Please. I'm a Slim and Clear. This is where my drinking's at now. A Slim and Clear, guys. You know what that is? It's water in a can. And I'll tell you why I got that, Wade, before I leave you into the night. Fucking White Claw. Oh, yeah. White Claw. See, the pandemic brought out so much shit. And then White Claw. And at the time, White Claw, wasn't it great? Wasn't it amazing? It was like it was going to solve the world's problems. Just have a White Claw. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. Just have a fucking White Claw. And then Pink Whitney came out. You guys remember Pink Whitney? Yeah. On its own, good. But when you mix it with White Claw in a forest in Huntsville, it gets you really drunk really fast. You go through all the emotions of drunkenness in 10 minutes, and then you end up puking baby pukes in a ball after 2 White Claws. Thank goodness. So goddamn you, White Claw. God damn you to hell. But it's so delicious. Well, guys, you have White Claw, you have Bud Lights. And guys, that's my time, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Give it up for your host, Lars Classington.
Adrian, Sawyer, everybody. Yes. Hi. Luke's family. Sherry. We're looking for Ansel. Ansel's still here, Sherry. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? You guys doing good in the back? All right, Luna's fucking pumped right now, screaming and yelling. Now, here's the thing. I want to let you guys know we do this every Friday, Saturday. New lineups. You can follow us at Laughing Vikings. We do a contest. Any of you who are taking pictures and/or video, you want to do a little boomerang, tag us. If you want, tag a comedy-loving friend who hasn't been here. Tag Luna if you want. But hit us up on Instagram. And more important than that, I'm going to give you guys a hot tip right now. Luna. Unacceptable. There you go. There you go, Luna.
Does anyone in the room? I'm going to give you a hot social media tip. This is for you, Paul and Sherry, right here. Are you guys on social? You're on TikTok? They're not on TikTok. You can skip TikTok. This is my hot tip. Get on Dropbox. You guys on Dropbox in the back? You guys on Dropbox? You on Dropbox? Yeah, get on Dropbox. I got a big old box on Dropbox. We put our boxes together. You can drop in on my box. I can drop in on your box. Hit me up on Dropbox. It's a new thing. You're like, oh, I didn't even know that Dropbox was a thing. It's more than just file sharing. It's more than just file sharing. Get on it. Dropbox. Dropbox. Also, you guys need anything at Dollarama? Anyone need anything at Dollarama? Anybody? That's what I just said to you. That question is the thing I've said most in the last 18 months. You guys need anything at Dollarama? Luna, what do you need? You need some treats? All right. We're going to bring this Comedy Alley ship back in harbor. But before we do, please give this gentleman a rousing alley welcome. He's a Juno nominee with his album The Abyss. I've got him to do Luna. 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 No. No. No, Luna. No, Luna. Oh. Sit, Luna. Sit. Sit. This is it was a big heartfelt. We rehearsed this, Luna. Get out of here, you little skittery. Skittery. You can do this when it's your dog, guys. All right. We got to bring him up. I want to tell you one thing about this guy. He's done it everywhere. He's done it across the coast. And he once looked me dead in the eye, deadpan. He said to me, buddy, you got mushrooms. You give them to me any place, anytime, I'll do them. Please give it up for Mushrooms on the Spot, Monty Scott, everybody. Monty Scott. Woo!
Let's hear it for Lars Classington, everybody. Let's hear it for Luna. Luna, you don't know there's a fucking Juno nominee walking? How many Junos are going to be nominated before the dogs give me some respect? I don't know if you guys, you guys wouldn't know this. I did request that Lars didn't bring me up until I and the moon were perfectly aligned with true north. Because I'm a big fan of the Sphinx. The Sphinx was actually me. It was made after a Juno nominee person, not a winner. I felt like I had the pandemic weirder than some because I was nominated for the Juno, and then I was like, all right, holy fuck, I might win. So it's like, cool. And so you gotta get like your head around the idea like you might win. And then I was like, well, there's 5 nominees, so it's like a good chance I'm gonna lose. So I'm like, get your head around that. And then the whole time leading up to this, I was like, all right, listen, you're gonna go to the Junos, just don't cause a fucking fiasco. Whatever happens. If you win, don't cause a happy fiasco. If you lose, don't cause an angry fiasco. Don't flip a table. Just stay the fuck calm. Just go whatever, you know? So I'm like, all right, I think I got this together. And then day before I flew to the Junos, they canceled the Junos. I was like, they haven't canceled the Junos since the War of 1812, for Christ's sake. I couldn't even believe it because like they canceled. I was at a show on the Wednesday, and somebody kind of announced from stage that they canceled the NBA season, and everyone was like, "Wow, that's crazy shit," you know. And I swear to God, in my mind, I was like, because I was flying the next day, I was like, yeah, sure, they canceled the NBA, but in my head, I was still like, but not the Junos. Somehow in my head, I thought the Junos were more fucking resilient than the fucking NBA. I was like, surely not the Junos, though. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't stop the Junos. I'm like, not even a thought in my head it could be canceled. Like, yeah, sure, for an NBA, but I mean, you know, they don't have the resiliency of the Junos. Turns out they're equally resilient. They canceled the next day when I woke up. They canceled it, and I was like, "Wow, I can't believe I had that much confidence in the Junos." I remember when this was just an alley. I don't know if you guys. There was a time when this was just a fucking alley.
I was just drinking whiskey out here with Lars or some shit, and then I was like, maybe we'll turn it into an opulent club, and he pulled it off.
Nice.
Fucking amazing. How about that? That's the kind of resilience of the Canadian comedy industry is where it's like, listen, you got an alley? Let's fucking make this thing happen. Well, I mean, it's been a weird pandemic for us all. You know what? That's a funny statement in general. It's been a weird pandemic. That's kind of making the assumption that there could be a orderly pandemic. I'm like, you know what? I will say this is that pandemic went exactly to plan. Exactly how we drew it up. We were ready for the pandemic, and it just went regular shit. How was that pandemic regular? You know how it goes. Like, yeah, what? I thought it was interesting this week. The world the country is fucking weird shit happening. There was a man, numerous men, some women too, I guess, that were like, I got to wake up early tomorrow because I got to make it down to protest the hospital. They were like, somebody in the evening was like, I got to get up early. I can't like hang out because I got to go protest the hospital in the morning. And then they woke up like early. They were having a shower and they were asking themselves a question like, should I go protest the hospital or not? And their answer was yes. Somebody was like, listen, I can't afford to not protest the hospital. Protest the fucking hospital. Just the most insane fucking thing, because I don't know. Lifetime, I'm known as kind of a crazy person. Lifetime. A couple times a week, I ask myself the question, should I protest the hospital? But then I'm usually like, no, probably not. Because you don't want to be on your deathbed thinking to yourself, man, I really should have fucking protested that hospital. Play the odds. It's more often than not the person who protested the hospital was probably like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have protested the hospital. But I didn't get like, that's Canadian comedy always overlooked. I got together with some friends and we were down the next day protesting at a local cemetery. And we got no press at all. We were out there with our picket signs like, this sucks. They're all dead. We don't like it. What an odd move, I thought. Protesting the hospital. And then now we have, our government has said that, in next week or whatever, we need to show proof of vaccine to get into various things. I had to show a proof of vaccine to get into the Blue Jay game. And I told them, I was like, listen, I'm not going to fuck anybody in there. And they're like, listen, no, it's different. And they shook me off. And I was like, okay, then, I guess I'll show it. But our government took the unusual step of not putting any regulations on it. So we're like, how do you show proof of vaccination? And they're like, don't know. But show it. I'm like, well, that's a fucking weird way to go. You're just going to be like, you'll know it when you see it. I'm like, what? So I don't know. It was hard for me to know exactly what to do. So I got my dad to write me a note that says Monty Scott has been vaccinated double. Sincerely, Gary Scott. And I was like, there it is. I've been fucking written by my dad. Double vax, bro. You gonna call Gary Scott a liar in front of his fucking son? Let me in the goddamn place. So I don't know. I mean, I got vaccinated first time at Costco, but I'm actually not a member of Costco. So I'm just gonna show them my fucking vax certificate and be like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm leaving with this fucking case of chocolate chips. Yeah. Now I'm buying all my shit here. You vaccinate me, now you got me for good. This supersedes everything. It says Gary Scott says he's vaccinated from Costco. I got the AstraZeneca. You guys get the AstraZeneca anymore? Oh, you look so sad about that. You're like, yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I'm like, well, that was like, I said I got the AstraZeneca one time. I was like, first of all, I'm from Scarborough. I was just like, listen, just give me the ghettoest thing you got. Give me the most fucked up vaccine you got. Because I don't give a goddamn. I am not that far away from just going to a Sri Lankan restaurant, getting a mutton roll, and just be like, listen, whatever you got in the back, just shoot me up. Because the Sri Lankans could cure COVID for cheaper. There's nothing the Sri Lankans can't do for half price. The Sri Lankans can put you in space, I'm pretty sure, for like $1,200. $1,200 in a brown paper bag, the Sri Lankans will have you in space. It'll be a bumpy ride because they don't really know shit about space travel, but they'll get you there. But I took the AstraZeneca, and I'd have to say, were you okay with it? That is the best answer. I don't know if you guys heard her. She said no. And that's exactly how I felt. I was like, fuck, because, like, I wasn't too worried about it. Because, the people that are, like, kind of anti-vax, I'm like, what? They're like, well, you don't want to put anything, like, weird in your body. It's like, all I put is weird shit in my body. I don't have no fucking idea what's going in my body from one day to the next. And in fact, I'm pretty sure it's all bad. A bunch of bad things I'm putting in my body that I believe are bad. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't want to put, like, that, the crazy shit in your body. I was like, look, I don't fucking care. Like, when I went to Costco, the guy was trying to explain, I don't even know if it was a doctor or what or it could have been just an employee in a white coat. It was just a Costco employee that was like, just give him the white coat. Isn't that mechanical? Just give him the white coat. Make him feel a little bit official. So he was trying to break down the vaccine to me. He's like, well, you got the Pfizer, which is like, Pfizer and Moderna are like the mRNA vaccines, which is a different kind of animal to the AstraZeneca, which is, like it's the traditional virus-based vaccine. And I was like, bro, I didn't fucking ask. What are you talking to me about? Are you the syringe man? Then syringe me, bro. I'm trying to buy a case of chocolate chips in a couple of minutes. I don't give a goddamn about your medical talk. Why are you talking all this medical shit? You got a syringe? Fucking make it happen. I've never asked a man what's in a syringe. You take it. You see what happens. So anyway, yeah. But like you, I took it. I browsed Costco. I came home, and I was like, fine. I was like, okay, I feel fine. Ended up going to sleep like kind of early, like it was like 11 o'clock. Went to sleep, woke up at like 1 o'clock. Fucked! I could not believe how fucked I was. Because I was like, oh, Jesus. I think, has anyone ever woken up like, oh, Jesus? That's how I felt. Just fucked. I couldn't roll over. I could not roll over. I had to pick a side. I picked it. My back, fucked. Couldn't roll over. I mean, maybe if a train was coming through the bedroom, I could have tried, but I wasn't motivated like that because there's no trains in my bedroom. So I was like, fuck, I think I can't roll over. 36 hours. I was fucked. And, like I said, I'm not very vaccine hesitant, but I did feel maybe by the 30th hour that I was like, I find this hard to recommend. If somebody says, hey, should you take AstraZeneca? I have a hard time just staring them in the eyes and say yes. And so they were explaining the AstraZeneca has some of these symptoms, I think, because it's the original, it's got the virus in it, like the old school style of vaccine. The mRNAs are new vaccines. This is one of the old vaccines. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But I don't remember getting like 10% polio. I don't remember when that went down. I had to walk off polio for a fucking couple days. Or, I like, listen, I'm going to have to make it a long weekend because I'm going to have smallpox probably until Wednesday. And then, I'll probably be able to shake off the smallpox. I don't know. We're talking Thursday. I'll be back with only a little bit of smallpox. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck that's all about, but that's where we're at. So I took the next one, the Pfizer one, and that was smoother. I didn't yell Jesus in terror as I woke up. That was not bad. And then I'm scheduled in a couple days for the Moderna, and then because I'm just going fucking Captain America on this shit. I'm getting stronger. Every vaccine I'm taking, more and more pull-ups. I'm getting like Jesus Christ. Who knows what I could be if I keep going? I'm gonna get the Sputnik. I don't know. Give me the Sputnik, bro. I'm on the line with Putin. I'm like, listen, bro, give me the fucking Sputnik. How much I gotta pay for the Sputnik? I think you get like a cable package with Sputnik. Get Sputnik, and part of their satellite is now pointed at you. And like, listen, you can pick up some Russian channels if you're interested. There's a lot of karate on that. What the fuck else I want? You know what I found interesting during the pandemic is that I found myself thinking about black bird watchers. Just it's a weird thought. Black bird watchers, and because I was thinking about, and when I say that, I mean specifically black people that watching birds, not people that exclusively watch blackbirds. They're a different group of people. I don't know who those fucking people are. It's like, listen, I wouldn't even look at a dove if it was in my face. I only see blackbirds. But black people that watch birds. Because the Central Park Karen chick, you guys remember her? She yeah, fair enough. She's a good she should be booed. Because for anyone who didn't see the thing, the dude was like in Central Park in New York, and he was like, you can't have a dog here. And she's like, proceeds to strangle her dog, which was a weird move. She's like, this dog? And I was like, listen, he didn't just catch a bunch of fish. What the fuck are you doing? Nobody shows their dog like this. I don't know what kind of fucking mental S&M dog you've got, or if your dog likes that, you've been training him that way. I don't think he came out the gates like that. So they took her dog away, and the dude was just like, thank God they took her dog away. The dude was just like, listen, I'm not even hating the woman, but like she was calling the cops to threaten me that the cops are going to come kill me because I'm a black dude, and that's literally racism in action. And I just want her called out because you shouldn't be doing shit like this. And I was like, wow, this guy's fucking nail on every point of what's the matter with this fucking scenario. And then he went on to kind of illuminate us further, I guess, the audience. And he's like, it's not all roses being like a black bird watcher and whatnot. And I was like, this guy's a fucking bird watcher? I didn't know, because I just thought he was a dude that didn't want to hug them. He's like, the dog will scare away my birds or whatever. And so he's like, it's not that easy being a fucking black bird watcher. And I was like, I certainly have never put myself in the shoes of a black bird watcher. I never once during the pandemic was I like, how's it for black guys watching birds? Is that cool? Can they still watch birds okay? Or I didn't know that there was like the kind of white privilege on bird watching. I didn't know that was an issue one way or the other. Like, can a Chinese guy watch a bird pretty regular? Is that cool? Can an Indian take a peek? Like, what? I didn't know that. First of all, I never even understand the idea of watching birds. But and I was thinking about bird watchers, and I was like, surely, you think about racism, and you're like, you never know where it could sneak into your own psyche. And I'm like, surely I wouldn't think different of a black guy watching a bird or a white guy watching a bird or whatever the fuck. And then I was like, what is a bird watcher all about? And I was like, well, it's essentially a man creeping around in the bushes. I'm like, so no, I'm not fucking cool with any bird watchers. There is no race of bird watcher I feel comfortable with. You can't be like, oh, listen, there's a guy creeping around the bushes. Yeah, he's a Chinese guy. It's cool. There is no group of people I feel comfortable with in the bushes. Because men and bushes, in the history of bushes and men, dubious at best. There's almost never, there's no chance, if you saw a guy in the bushes, you'd be like, I'm sure this guy has got my best interest at heart. That's a ridiculous thing to think. Men in the bushes is always fucking trouble. There's nobody. I was like, oh yeah, I put my back to men in bushes all the time. That's fucking insane. But beyond that, I was thinking about bird watchers, and I don't know if there's any bird watchers in the audience. Yeah. Oh. Okay, false alarm. I'm the bird watcher. Jesus. That would be the. You're a bird watcher. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. Well, because yeah, that's fair enough though. The guy who's wooing, that's not bird watching kind of moves. Like whoa, like that's the problem. Is this guy's too many woos in the bushes, scaring away the birds. Well, my thought on bird watching is this: like, haven't you seen enough fucking birds? Who needs to see more birds? I grew up in Scarborough, nothing but fucking birds. There's birds everywhere. I've involuntarily been watching birds my whole life. Every time I turn around, there's a fucking bird. If there's a bird behind me right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Birds everywhere, for Christ's sake. Is there anyone going like, there's no chance I'm going to the pearly gates and be like, yeah, it would have been pretty cool if I could have checked out a couple more birds, but otherwise it's cool. I don't understand the idea of looking at more birds. If I could, I would try. Well, I'm currently trying to look at less birds. I would like to avoid looking at birds if I could. If you told me there's a bird, I will go the other way. It's not that I don't like them, but I just don't particularly like looking at them. They can pretty much go fuck themselves, birds, as far as I'm concerned. I'll tell you this. Oh, Jesus, I was looking for a bird there. Tell you this about the pandemic. Well, this isn't a pandemic, I guess. This is just the state of the world. I found myself in the really unusual position that I was really rooting for Joe Biden. I never thought, because I'm fairly, pretty much a maniac lifetime. Like I say, this pandemic didn't throw me off much because I was like, I feel exactly the same as regular. Like you have to light a lot of shit on fire before I'm like, wow, things are getting weird. Because I just don't fucking care. And so I was like, man, I really hope Biden. We need Biden on this. No, like waking up in the morning, like I hope Biden. We need Biden on this. I was like, Joe Biden. That's something I'm saying to myself. That we need Biden. Come on, Biden. It's like, what did you down the straight side. Yeah. It's like I bet on Biden in a horse race. Like, come on, Biden. Come on. We need this. We need to parlay Biden. I'm going to lose the House. That was exactly how I felt. I'm fucking fighting for Biden on this thing. And then I was like, so Biden wins. And you're like, okay, cool. I guess, and, except that you realize you come to terms with it, like, this only, I think, in America, this happens where it's like Biden is 78. I was desperately rooting for a 78-year-old man to win the election of the most powerful country in the world. He was running against a 75-year-old fucking lunatic. Other than running America, what the fuck would you put a 78-year-old in charge of? You wouldn't put him in charge of bingo at the retirement home. 78 years old. My parents are in their 80s now, and I've always been adamant. They should not be running America. It's the craziest fucking thing I ever heard of in my entire life. Like, if you and I open a Popeye's chicken, and you're out of the country, and you're just like, Monty, open a Popeye's for me, and I hired a 78-year-old man as the manager, you would be like, are you fucked? Are you trying to fuck up my chicken franchise? You can't have a 78-year-old man that close to a fucking fryer. It's illegal. He can dunk his head in there at any time. You can't. That's the fucking craziest thing I ever heard. But my parents can't work all the things that are magnetized to their fridge. They're not 100% on all that shit. My mom is one day off on every appointment for the last 5 years. Either one day early or one day late. She hasn't hit on the head fucking once. And she's the good one. My dad's main question for every conversation is, who? 3 or 4 times, like, Dad, same guy. I don't switch guys on you, bro. I wouldn't go switching guys on you. Like, who? Dad, Putin. He's taken over Chechnya. Who? Still Putin, Dad. You guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks a lot. Let's hear it for Lars. Let's hear it for everyone who's been on the show.
keep it going for Monty Scott, everyone. And you also saw Patrick, Hakeem, Anto, Jan, Adrian, Sawyer, Dave, Martin. Let me ask everyone here, was this the best fucking night you ever had in an alley? All right, here's your mission. Go home and tell all your friends. We do it every Friday, Saturday. I got to put the icing on the cake right here. And I got to give this away. I mentioned MVP/MVG, most valuable group. I have the grand prize here. I can't give away Luna. I know you're eyeballing Luna. I'd be like, is he giving the dog away at the end of the show? No, I'm not giving the dog away. She's adorable. I love it. I have an official rubber fart machine, and we're going to give it away to the Boots family. Actually, I stand corrected. A couple nights ago, I gave one of these away, and a very empowered female said to me, "Hey, Lars, how do you know it's a fart machine, not a queef machine?" And so here you go. Here's your rubber queef/fart machine. Who wants it? Paul's going to take it, everyone. Give it up for the Boots family. Thank you for supporting Canadian entertainment. And we'll see you again. Good night, good night, good night, good night.
I'll dish out some of these to our neighbors for that last deal was real. You want to sit on flashes? There you go. Yes. This is the one.
I go all the way to New York now for lash. Yeah, they have good.
Okay, yeah, I want to eat too. I gotta go eat too.
That was pretty good.
You're welcome. They'll walk you back and then I'll play. They all want to stay and eat.
I feel hydrated and